The new rules that the Taliban has put forward, I think, in so many ways are contradictory and irrational. But that's just me, and this is not the voice of real Islam. These draconian rules, which have been put out under a series of laws, Article 17, for example, bans the depiction of human beings. Well, presumably that not only means the depiction of graffiti and Banksy style pictures on the walls, it also presumably means photography is banned. And the demand that this sort of Taliban 2.0, it isn't. It's the same old Taliban that was there before the Americans came in. It's the same old Taliban that grew up out of the attack by Russia on Afghanistan and filling the void from the Wahhabi-educated people in northern Pakistan, who then went over the border and filled Afghanistan with largely uneducated clerics who had simply come through these intensive Wahhabist madrasas, who, with the only education that they knew, which was this very extreme understanding of Islam. And this was imposed on Afghanistan before the Americans invaded, imposed on all Afghan women, including the Jews, the Hindus, the Sikhs, this diverse hodgepodge of different cultures, celebrated different cultures, and destroyed really by this oppressive regime, which has nothing to do. This form of Islam which is imposed, has nothing to do with Islam. Islam is a religion that sees men and women as equal, not the same, but equal, with equal opportunities. And Afghanistan has been a country that has seen waves of change, but the Taliban imposition is erasing Afghan culture, Afghan heritage, and the idea that women are expected to walk around in the niqab and in the burqa, covering themselves completely, except maybe for the eyes, even if that's allowed now. This is not part of Afghan traditions, and it, as I say, it's a very extreme understanding or interpretation of Islam. The veil precedes Islam. You see Vestal Virgins wearing the veil. You see the Virgin Mary wearing the veil. It's an expression of modesty that predates Islam, and it's become a political and a strategic piece of colonial costuming imposed on the subservient part of the population. People in this new code, women are forbidden to speak or to read aloud. They're not allowed to go out without male guardians. They have to be fully covered. They're not allowed to look at another man who is not their relative or their husband. Music is forbidden. People are supposed to abstain from music. There will be warnings given to people who break rules, but otherwise they will be in court. And this is silencing women's voices, but it's silencing the voices of all Afghans who question the power of this tyranny. And we go back to the nonsense of Dominic Raab sunning himself on a beach in Crete while Kabul fell. Why were we there in the first place, if not to seek to seek the release and the freedom of people in Afghanistan. What have we achieved? We have achieved nothing. The clock has literally been put back, and if anything, it's put back and more emboldened. The Taliban are more emboldened now than they ever were. This is not preserving piety and modesty. This is preserving the authority of a small group of particularly oppressive men who do not want anyone to question them. And as I say, it's not Islamic. The veil, for example, in Turkey, depending on how you wear it, isn't necessarily signifying religious observance, but political affiliation. And the same is true in many different manifestations of the hijab as you go around the world. The real voice of Islam is in diversity, and is in an understanding that men and women are equal before the Almighty, and this suppression of one half of humanity to allow aggressive men the opportunity to parade with their gun, touting their guns like unshielded phallic symbols. You know, what is this a gesture of? Because it's not Islam, and it's not positive.